Hey everybody, welcome back to Bacon's Bass Place. I'm Aaron Bacon, and today we're continuing with our 50 basic slap bass patterns, part 2. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so that you get all the other good videos. Today we're doing pattern number 88, and it is another good one. Slap, pop, slap, pull off, okay? Slap, pop, slap, pull off. So I kind of want to do a rhythm very similar to this. I'm going to show you sort of a way that we can start. I'm always, just as like always, we're just doing a G here, a 3rd fret thing, you know. So we're going to do the first one short. Like it's a short note, but there's a rest, so it's kind of a longer space, right? Long, long, short, short. Long, long, short, short. Long, long, short, short. Long, long, short, short. Okay, so you guys should be pretty familiar with pull-offs at this point with slurs. I talk about them all the time. I use them all the time. Just watch any amount of my videos and you'll get the hang of hammer-ons and pull-offs. But what I'm doing is I'm striking this note, and then you can't just take your finger off. It doesn't really work, right? You have to actually flick it. You don't want to bend it that much. I'm doing that to exaggerate it just to show you guys. Okay. So we're going to do that. All right. So I'm just doing that, and I'm keeping my popping note on G the whole time while working up a G minor scale on the E string. Okay, so we're going to follow those, and we're just going to keep our popping note on the octave of the G. Now, we obviously can't hit, well, we could do this, and that's okay. Should be able to do that, I suppose, but it's probably a little easier to just move it to this G. Now the tone is going to change a bit because it's a different string, but it's the same note. It's okay. Same note, different position. Okay. Wrong note. Alright, so that's basically the gist of the pattern today. I do want to show you sort of a different way to do it with your left hand, okay? Basically, instead of pulling off with your index finger, like we're not going to do an octave and pull off to an open. We're going to do, like, well, there's a couple ways you could conceive of it, right? You could think that we're doing the interval of a minor 7th. That is the interval of a minor 7th, but if this 5th fret root was the root note, and this was the minor 7th of the A, right? Then we would go, and we're going 1 7 1 7 1 7, 1, 7, 1, 7, 1, 7, 1, 7. If that's an A minor. If it's still a G, then it would be popping from the 9th, a minor 7 up to the octave, and then going to the root. So 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, or that's backwards, sorry. 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, 1. Those are the degrees of the scale depending on how you're conceiving of it, okay? So that's just a different way to sort of start it with your ring finger, and we're going to pull off a whole step down. So we're going to pop a minor 7th above, and we're going to pull off a whole step below. So that's a fun shape. I want to do a little bit more exploring of how we can change the qualities of those notes within the tone, within the chord, okay? Change the chord tones. So if we're going, let's pretend that this is an A minor, okay? So we're going root 7. If we move this up, we get a major 7. And we would still have a minor 7 down there. So that's like a bebop scale kind of thing. It's probably going to sound kind of clashy, but... it's kind of cool. It's kind of metal. It's very dissonant, right? Because we're going from a minor interval to this interval, a major 7. Like a minor interval sounds minor, naturally, because we're going to the minor 7 of it, minor degree, I suppose. It is a major interval. This is a major 2nd, but we're going to the minor 7th of the chord, so it sounds minor. Then we're going to the major 7. So to have, there's so much tension in there, you know, just between having the major 7 and the minor 7, that half step creates a gross dissonance that's very, you can use it in a good way if you're smart. The other thing is this major 7, that same one, but relative to this note now, is also a major 7, which if you invert it becomes another half step. So in this pattern, we have 2 half steps like adjacent to each other. These are our 3 chromatic notes. So that's 2 half steps, 2 semitones in a chord. That's extremely dissonant. This note is a half step away from both this note and this note. It's like... it creates a cool thing. It sounds bluesy if you consider this a major chord. If you're thinking about this as a major chord where you're adding in the altered 7 to be the flat 7, that's going to give it a really bluesy sound, right? This is just the major 7s. I'm going to flatten the top major 7 to a minor 7, and I'm going to leave the bottom a major 7 and have a minor 7 on the top. And that should hopefully create like a bluesy sound. Okay? So it's kind of fun. It's kind of almost a little sillier sounding. If you take the 2 comparisons we're doing, one sounds sinister and one sounds kind of silly. One is like minor and dark and almost evil. The other one is kind of goofy and almost a little lighthearted and silly, you know? So the one where we're doing a minor chord and putting in the major 7 on top, tons of effects going on there. You got the 2 half steps, you got the major 7 over a minor chord, which creates a harmonic minor sound, but you also have the minor 7 in there, which just messes with all of that. It can do diminished stuff, you know, whole tone, augmented stuff, all kinds of weirdness you can get into that. Then, the other one is the major chord, where we're adding in the out of key flat 7. That's a silly sounding one. Silly in a good way, like just a fun sound, you know? Tonality versus the sinister. Sinister, goofy. Sinister, goofy. And that's, of course, just my interpretation of those sounds and my knowledge of how the intervals function and stuff. I hope you guys are liking that. Let me know if you guys think that those chords actually sound like that. Like, if you think putting a major 7 into a minor 7th chord sounds dark and sinister, do you think so as well, or do you think it's a different thing? Do you think taking a major chord and adding a minor 7th into it makes it sound goofy and kind of bluesy, or do you just not like that altogether and you just think it sounds wrong? Does it sound like a jazzy kind of bebop scale to you because we have both of the types of 7s, right? So it could be a minor bebop scale. Let me know down below how you conceive of that, if you like that kind of thing, how you would use it in the comments down below. That's going to be it for today, though, guys. This brings it to a nice end. I think this was some good stuff that we covered today. Let me know if you like it. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you in the future. Take it easy, guys.